major question that everybody's interested in. I don't care how old you are, whether you're a man or a woman, what ethnicity you are. Everybody wants to know how to make your brain stronger. And I came at this as a neuroscientist from the kind of basic science perspective. I studied with a woman at UC Berkeley who was the first one in the 1960s to really show us exactly how much the brain can change in response to the environment. And what she did is she asked, what would happen if you put a rat in what she called an enriched environment with lots of toys, lots of other rats to play with. Think of it like the Disney World of rat cages. And she compared the brains of those rats to rats that were raised in what she called an impoverished environment with no toys and no other rats to play with. What she found was the brains of the rats in Disney World, the outer covering was actually thicker. The brain grew. Parts of the brain that were important for motor function and visual function, those are the parts that grew. The structure critical for memory, called the hippocampus, a structure I've studied for the last 25 years, also increased in size because we now know that new brain cells were born because of all of that stimulation. So I think my one take-home message for you is that we know from years of neuroscience research exactly how much we can change the brain. We're starting to understand exactly how we can improve the brain with something as simple as what we learned from those first experiments. What was it about Disney World that made the brain change so much? It turns out that the single factor that caused the majority of those brain changes was physical aerobic exercise. I'm not talking about, you don't have to become a triathlete. You have to increase your physical aerobic exercise. And let me give you one key reason why. Physical aerobic exercise stimulates the birth of brand new brain cells in your one major structure. You actually have two. Your two major structures that are critical for long-term memory. That structure, the hippocampus, that I mentioned. So just by increasing your aerobic exercise, and for some of us who haven't been active, just going for a walk can start that process going, can increase the birth of those new brain cells and really strengthen that structure. So a lot of my research has focused on trying to understand exactly how that happens. Many people ask me, what is the minimum amount of exercise I really need to do to get this to happen? And I'm very interested in that question. But that's a major message that I want you to take home, that we know this from neuroscience research. We are understanding all the things that are changing the brain for the better, some things for the worse. But this one, everybody can do today. You don't need a gym membership. You don't need to buy new shoes. Get up and get your heart working more than you are right now, and that's what gets the process going.